What's happening, guys? I'm Jay.
And I'm Padge, and you were watching 8747 Productions.
And we pull up For My Valentine.
What's up, everybody? Big Bryan here, 8747 Productions, and we're kicking it with a couple of guys from For My Valentine. We're excited to have you guys here in Salt Lake City, and you guys are just off the release of Temper, and listen to that and loving it. It's a great album. We were talking a little bit before we got started. You know, to me, it feels like you went maybe back to a little bit of the roots of Pantera, got really into the groove in the songs and in the songwriting. But yeah, really great album, and it sounds phenomenal. So, yeah. So let's talk production real quick on this. You guys use Don Gilmore and use him with Fever as well. What made you guys go back to using Don, and what role does he play with you guys as your producer?
I think it was because of his work on Fever. You know, he had a vision of the kind of direction where we should take the band and the sound on Fever, and I think due to the success of that album, we thought he was a no-brainer. You know, so we used him again, obviously, because he's easy to work with. He's a very cool guy, and he gives me beer when I'm tracking.
If it's not broke, why fix it? He worked for that one, so we had him over again. He knew us, we knew him, we gelled well, and we wanted to get the album out as quick as possible, you know, so it just seemed like, let's just get in and do it as fast as we can, and that's what it was.
Very good. So when you guys go in the studio with him, like, how much of your songs are done, completed before you go in the studio, and like how much of it are you working on in the studio?
This time around, there was no pre-production whatsoever. There was the guys flew straight out to Thailand, started tracking songs like the day after they landed. No pre-production, just like riffs that we've collected on phones, or things that we remembered in the past and stuff, and just started tracking. And while they were over there, me and Jay were sort of writing back home, and it was just, the whole process was a lot different to everything else we've done before, but I think it makes for a stronger album.
Okay.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
Because usually we do all the pre-production thing and the demos, and it's like a really long process, but this time Matt wanted to approach it like he did with his own album with Axe Wound. And he just went in there and just read as he went along and just plugged it into the desk and done it as it came out. So just to try and get it done as quick as possible, and it seemed very effective.
Save time, save money, and just be productive.
On the spot.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. It has a really good vibe. I mean, I can't find a song on there that I don't like. All of them have, just such great, melodies, riffs, and all the normal stuff that you hear. But yeah, you guys have definitely matured in your sound. And how do you guys feel as you approach the studio like this time compared to like back in the days when you went in for the Poison?
Again, it was totally different. Like you said, it was a lot of on the spot. I'd be going in and doing leads, and I'd be like, "Can you try something new?" And it's like, "Like what?" It's like, just tracking as you sat in the stool. But again, I think it captures something, that moment, and the freshness of it all just again makes for a better, fresher record.
I think Fever was like kind of the beginning of this record, because we've all adapted the rule of less is more. So as we're Screaming Fire is just pounding full of riffs, and it's just like crazy. There's like loads of riffs in each song. You could make probably 2 or 3 songs out of one song, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when Don Gilmore came in, and he tried stripping it back in Fever, but we wouldn't let him as much as we have in this one, And it was like, it doesn't need all that kick drum, it doesn't need all that riff, it just needs what the song needs. So we concentrated on it to be, more easy listening, and to be more grooving, and to be, just a fuller, more tempoed song instead of raging, Just having the sections have what they need.
Cool. So as you guys approached, coming into this album, obviously RCA closed down the record label that you were on before. Did that play any part in you guys, did you guys worry at all? Do you think you're gonna have to shop records, or because people ultimately don't realize that as a musician, as a band, that's a business for you guys, and this is how you're making your livelihood. And did that play any part in what you're doing?
We've been quite lucky, haven't we?
Yeah, we have been lucky, but I don't think the label change played any real part in in the sort of production of this record as such. There was a few tracks at the end where they really started. There was like a riot came sort of near the end, and they were like, that's really good. Can we send you off to another studio and write some more stuff like this? So they kind of got involved at the end, but for the most part, it was relatively smooth. So.
But with the labels, there's a lot of labels all over the world uploading down and stuff because of the business that it is now, and people downloading and everything. It hasn't really affected us yet. Like we've seen some old friends that have been there over the years have to clear their desk out kind of thing, But for the majority of our label, it's one of the biggest, so we're quite lucky they're still going strong. So.
Yeah. No, I remember you guys. You talked about in the past, you waited out on Roadrunner to get to the bigger record label, and I just wanted to, kind of watching that come and go. If that, had played any worries, any sweat was lost over that. But.
And now basically we had about 3 or 4 different labels approach us at the same time. We were quite lucky; it just all came at once, and we were like, wow. So we just picked the best deal.
Yeah. But being fans of Roadrunner bands for so many years, and all the sort of great classic metal albums that they put out and stuff, it's sad to see them go. But when they sort of give their deal, it was like Sony kind of just blew it out the water. So it was being just career defining moment, we wanted to go for the best deal with the most longevity and
right,
and what a label can offer you.
And they could offer us the best. So.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Let's switch gears really quick and let's talk about. You guys use Chris Lord-Alge to mix the album. Do you go in the studio with him at all, or do you just kind of turn it over to him, let him go? What's kind of the process there?
No, I think Don is kind of friends with him and stuff in LA, and I think there was a couple of phone calls between Chris and Matt, our singer, but no, Don just kind of give him the album and let him sort of carry on.
Sent files, sent it back.
Yeah, he's the master, so he's doing two, 3 songs a day. He's just bam.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of work to get through 2, 3 songs a day. When you guys were going through, how much did the songs change from tracking to having Chris mix those?
Well, I mean, Chris's vibe, he just wants everything as wide as possible and spread out, and he really does breathe life into any mix that he does, and he's probably the best guy around in the world these days to mix sort of rock albums and stuff like that. So again, it was a no-brainer to use him.
But they were finished when they were done.
Yeah, the songs were finished, but obviously he puts his stamp on them, and
right.
they just come to life even more.
The structures were all there.
Yeah, Chris is a great guy. Obviously, phenomenal mix engineer. Has been around for a long time, and let's go to really quick. It's back to the studio real quick. And you guys are in there. How much time do you end up spending, chasing tone, getting the right guitar sound, getting the right bass tone?
I don't think there was much at all. Guitar-wise, I mean, we tried. Obviously, we used a 6505 again with a Tube Screamer and a Les Paul Raw Power guitar fitted with EMGs. But we did try a Laney head. I'm not sure what it was called, but the 6505 for rhythm really pissed all over it for some reason. Just held the low end and those mids together. But we did use the Laney for the lead sections because the Laney just kind of thickened everything out a bit more. So there was a nice contrast, but obviously different amps were better for either rhythm or lead, So that was about it, really. Not, with fourth album in and a mini album, we've worked with some, one of our friends, Ginge, back home. He's a great engineer and he knows his shit. We've worked with Colin, we've worked with Don, so we know our sound, so to speak. So
right, yeah. No, that's good. How about for you?
We had the Avalon tone box going straight into the desk, and I think we actually used the Chris Lord-Alge plugin. So I think that was just it, man. It was just it was sounding good.
For you guys, obviously you've got a good career start. You're off to a really good start career-wise. What do you guys see happening with Bullet for My Valentine going forward?
It's interesting you say that. We have one more album left on our current deal. I believe we're going to start writing in the new year. So, and once that album's done, I guess we've kind of finished with our deal. So we'll be sort of like free artists, and I don't know. We'll just see what comes to the table,
Right. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting times. It's going to be nice to get out of the deal, but obviously we want to keep doing this for as long as our organs hold up.
So, we just want to be where the big boys are now, and hopefully they'll hand down the torch to us, when Metallica and Iron Maiden and everyone are, that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
And we're on course.
Yeah. That's, I think there's nothing wrong with aspiring to fill their shoes. Especially like Maiden's getting pretty up there in age now, and they've had a really great career. Hopefully they'll keep touring, but obviously they've slowed down as touring from when they used to. If you guys could put together a dream tour, you and any other 3 bands, who do you think you'd do?
Although I love the classic bands, Maiden, Metallica, and Pantera, but we know what's happened with Pantera, but I'd go young, I'd go like us, Avenged, and Killswitch, and just fucking kill it around the world. It'd be awesome. World tour, and just maybe even another band, Black Veil or something. Who knows? Just a good lineup. Be cool.
Bring Me the Horizon as well. They're pretty cool.
Bring Me the Horizon. Cool, yeah. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I think that this has been very informative for people that don't know a lot about the aspects of what's Bullet for My Valentine behind the scenes and when they go into the studio. We got the roof about to fall on us, so we'll cut this a little bit short. But thanks a lot, guys. This is Big Bryan, 8747 Productions. We'll see you next time.